Today we're going to look at simplifying algebraic expressions. So a simple 3-panel cartoon. The humor here, what is it? 5q plus 5q. I have 5 q's and 5 more q's, that's 10q. You're welcome. Little math teacher humor. But it kind of lays the groundwork for what we're looking at today. So there's some space for some key vocabulary terms at the top of your note page. The first is terms, and when we have an expression, it's made up of multiple parts that are being summed. And those parts that are added together are known as terms. In a term with a variable such as 2x, the number is the coefficient of that term. Like terms have the same variable and the same exponent. That becomes really key to us when we start thinking about simplifying expressions. An expression is considered simplified if it has no grouping symbols and all like terms have been combined. So if you want to take just a moment, pause the video, and you can write these terms down on your note page. A couple of key points in the middle of the front side of your note page. When we're simplifying an expression, the way we're going to do that is add the coefficients of the like terms, and we'll see an example of that momentarily. An expression is completely simplified if it has no grouping symbols and if all the like terms have been combined. So we keep doing those things, combining pairs of like terms or more than two of the same like term until there's no more that we can do. So let's take a look at an example of that. Let's simplify this expression. 2x squared plus 3x minus x squared plus 6x. So our first job is to identify, well, where are our like terms? And it's not a bad idea to actually go in and mark up your page. So I can see I've got a 2x. I'm looking for another term that also has an x squared in it. And I see there's a minus x squared. So that's really like a negative 1x squared. So we're going to group those two things together. 2x squared minus 1x squared. I also see that I have two terms that have just x to the first power. It's a positive 3x and a positive 6x. Now, we can group together those like terms. 2x squared minus 1x squared, I've got just x squared. 3x plus 6x, I'm going to add the coefficients. 3 plus 6 is 9x. So this simplifies to x squared plus 9x squared. What you really did there was the distributive property in reverse. You added the coefficients, 3 and 6, and then multiplied times x, 9x. Let's try another one as an example. A little more challenging. This one has distributive property involved. 4 times the quantity, 6 minus x. 3 times the quantity, x minus 8. We've got to distribute first. 4 times 6, 24. 4 times negative x, that's negative 4x. Now I come back and go positive 3 times x, that's plus 3x. And then 3 times negative 8, that's negative 24. So I took one step to get to where I was at the start of the first example problem. Now we can combine like terms. I have a negative 4x and a positive 3x. When I combine the negative 4 and the positive 3, I get negative 1x. And remember, when the coefficient is 1, we don't write it. I've got a positive 24 and a negative 24. Right? Well, those are opposites. They're going to sum to 0. So when I simplify this expression, I get negative x. Go ahead and try the two that you see on the screen, and then you can come back and check your work with me. So now you can check your work, and they were relatively straightforward and matched up pretty well with the first two examples. So 1 minus 6x minus 9x. You can see over on the side that we're going to combine the coefficients, negative 6 and negative 9, to get a negative 15. So negative 15x, and then I still have the positive 1. So 1 minus 15x is how that simplifies. In the second example, there was a distributive property involved. So 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 4x, 24x. So 2x plus 6 plus 24x gives us 26x plus 6. So each time when you complete a set of notes, included in your note page that I distribute to you is a place to summarize your learning. And the way I'd like you to do that, I've got two different opportunities for you to do some summarizing. The first is called a 3-2-1 summary. 3 things that I learned today, 2 things I want to know more about, and then 1 big question that I still have. If you best take notes and remember maybe visually, you could write down some connections to other classes or other things you've learned previously in math. Maybe sketch out some thoughts here, graphic organizers and such, and other random thoughts that help to cement your learning.